Capitol Hill. We know who the next president will be, but we don't know everything about the balance of power in Congress. Republicans are going to control the Senate in January after flipping seats in West Virginia, Ohio, and Montana. There are still 4 races left to be called, however, and they're also still counting votes in many of the House races, the other chamber of Congress. Republicans do have an advantage there. They're closer to winning a majority, which would be 218 seats or more. If they do it, it would give the GOP control of the White House and all of Congress. Scott McFarlane is here to show us what that could mean for the country. Scott, good morning. This is a little bit of Civics 101, understanding how our government works. We all need a refresher. Talk to us first, though, about the outstanding races.
This is incredibly important. Start with the U.S. Senate. Yes, the die has been cast. Republicans have the majority, but every single seat means something. It's more leverage or less leverage for Donald Trump. As of now, we project 52 Republican seats. If that gets up closer to 54 or 55, he has more wiggle room on tough things, controversial bills, controversial confirmations to the court or to his cabinet. We are transfixed with the Pennsylvania Senate race. Will that make it 53 for Republicans, or will that give Democrats a bigger firewall? Pennsylvania, because Bob Casey is an institution in Pennsylvania. His father was the governor. He has done 3 terms. He is the son of Scranton. Look how close that margin is.
Wow.
Bob Casey has the votes remaining to get back on top. It's uniquely close. Everybody in Washington's watching that race.
So Bob Casey could still win.
Could still win. He could still lose. This is one of those that's going to come down to the narrowest margins.
Yeah.
So the promises that Donald Trump has made on the campaign trail, there have been many of them, and one of his slogans is promises made, promises kept. But talk to us about what he'll need Congress's help to make reality and what he can do on his own.
He may have some controversial cabinet nominees. He has some names that are circulating that may not get through a 50-50 Senate. So let's put it there. He has a little more muscle. If he wants to do mass deportations, that takes people, that takes equipment, that takes money. So he's going to need appropriations. He's going to need lots of funding through this Congress to get it done. If he wants these tax cuts to be extended for people of different income brackets, that takes political muscle. But he has this green light now. He's looking at a highway with green light, green light, green light with both chambers of Congress and with a mandate with the popular vote. These things are available to him, but I'll tell you, Democrats recognize that. And Democrats have the Senate until January. And what Democrats may try to do is fill those vacant judgeships now. Get those done before January. And you know who did that before? Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
In 2020. Remember Judge Eileen Cannon?
Yes, very much so, yes.
Dismissed his Florida suit?
Yes.
He got her confirmed after he lost election November 2020.
I remember that.
Wow.
Let's take a look at the Supreme Court and what could happen there under a Donald Trump presidency. You have 2 justices that could possibly be retiring, Alito and Clarence Thomas. What do you look at? How do you look at that picture?
There is this recent history of justices retiring when a president of the party that nominated them is back in the White House. He has the bandwidth of the next 2 years and guaranteed control of the U.S. Senate and Congress to get these confirmations done. That may expedite somebody's timetable, but it really makes a difference. 52 versus more than 52, because there have been 2 contrarian Republicans who have defied Trump before in the Senate. Lisa Murkowski in Alaska, Susan Collins in Maine. If he has 53 senators, they are deleveraged, and he has more capacity to do what he wants.
Both sides of the aisle have previously talked about getting rid of the filibuster. How likely is that to happen?
Mitch McConnell, the outgoing Senate Republican leader, yesterday said Democrats seem to like the filibuster again now, don't they? Because this is their firewall in the U.S. Senate. It still takes 60 votes to pass most legislation through the Senate. That'll be preserved for Democrats for the next 2 years. But my campaign sources say these House races, which are ending, start right back up again for 2026, and look for the all-star team of Democratic candidates to gear up for 2026, because traditionally the party does well. The out-of-power party does quite well in midterms.
All those green lights right now could be turning yellow in 2 years.
Quickly.
All right, Scott, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.